Hey, I'm Britt Nicole, and today I'm joined by an amazing organization called Strands. You're going to get to hear how they are changing the world. Every single day, they're helping women who are enslaved in human trafficking. We can be the change. We can do something. We get to hear how they're going out, reaching these girls, and how you can do the same.
I've been standing at the wall, waiting.
Hey everybody, I'm Britt Nicole, and I am here today with Strands. I'm here with Jen, who is the CEO. I call her Jen, her name's Jennifer. And Ken, who is a co-founder of Strands. I love what they are doing to change the world, to change people's lives. And we're just gonna hear a little bit today about how they're doing that. Why and how did you start Strands?
You know, for me, Britt, it was about 5 years ago when a good friend of mine, Don Brewster, runs an organization called Agape International Missions in Cambodia. And he came to me and he asked me, Ken, would you consider, you and your family, taking in a girl, a victim of sex trafficking, into your home so that she can come to America and testify against an American pedophile? And my wife and I, after praying about it, said yes, and that answer changed our lives. And today, that young girl is my daughter, and she's here with us today.
Awesome. So I know Strands started in Cambodia, but tell us about where all you work.
Well, we started in Cambodia with Agape International Missions, and as we grew that and we continued to build it, we realized that there's a lot going on here in the U.S. as well. So we also engaged the communities across the U.S. with education programs in the classroom and awareness events and fundraising events so that folks can do something in their own communities, but also support communities like Cambodia, Haiti, and Nepal. But you know, it's happening right here in our backyards, as well as over there. So that's a real important facet and element
people to know.
These trends. To in their own communities that they can do something to prevent it.
So you talked about Don and Bridget and how this opportunity kind of just fell into your lap. You and your wife prayed about it. You started working with them. But tell us a little bit more about Don and Bridget and how they started even being involved in helping with human trafficking.
Yeah, Don and Bridget started probably about 10 years ago when they went to Cambodia and they saw the issue in Swipak. This is a little dirt village that nobody should ever go to, but yet there's men from all over the world that go to Swipak, Cambodia to have sex with prepubescent little young girls. And so it's a difficult issue. When Don and Bridget saw that was going on, they said, we've got to do something. We can't know about this and then just ignore it. So they came back and they put together a plan. They went to their church and said, somebody needs to go over there and do something. And so they put it all together and nobody stood up. And God called them and they said yes, and they went.
And do they live there now?
They live there now, right in Swipak, Cambodia, in that little dirt village that I described. They live there. They could live in Phnom Penh 20 minutes away in a beautiful apartment, and they don't. They chose to live right there in that village, the day to day, and they're just making a difference not only in a village, but in the towns that surround it, in other parts of the country, and all throughout Cambodia.
And are there women there who make the bracelets in that village now? Like, do you have something set up there?
You bet. When Don came to me and I said, Don, how else can I help? He said, Ken, we need jobs. We need jobs for these girls because it's a job that gives them dignity and self-esteem. It's a job that gives them a hope for a future. I said, Don, I said, yes, we'll figure it out. And Don says to me, Ken, we already got the building. And I said, what do you mean we already have the building, you know? And he said, Ken, it's perfect. It used to be a brothel. It's one street over. We're going to transform this brothel into a training center that's going to produce jobs for these girls. And we're going to do it in a manner unlike anything that we know of in the world. And these girls don't work 12 and 14-hour shifts. They work an 8-hour shift, but an hour and a half each day is for education and counseling, and they get free lunch and free health care, and if they have children, free daycare. It's an amazing place.
I know Vicki was a co-founder of Strands as well, and her daughter was trafficked here in the States from a parking lot. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
With Vicky's daughter, Vicky Zito, normal suburban community, Starbucks on the corner, Safeway, kids hanging out, coming over after school, getting to know each other. And her daughter, unfortunately, was abducted by a sex trafficker that trafficked and sold her for 8 days in the Bay Area. So for 8 long days, she was missing. And through the grace of God and super sophisticated law enforcement techniques and the labors of love of a lot of folks in the community, we were able to rescue her and bring her back to her family. So, you know, it can happen anywhere. I think that's the biggest message, is that our eyes were opened, that this happened literally 1,000 feet from my front door. But what we try to teach kids is, you know, how to be aware of the cues, the signals, the signs of their friends or themselves being groomed into a traffic environment. But yeah, it's not just a snatch and grab on a corner. Sometimes it's through coercion, manipulation,
social media.
And we always tell the kids, it's like, you don't go to the mall to meet somebody or the love of your life. Kids, you know, they're social.
So tell us all about all the products that Three Strands makes.
We have some fantastic products that are coming out now. It started with the bracelet, a very simple bracelet with a single red seed and a button on it. Has expanded all over the world to Haiti, Nepal, India, and South Africa. We're sourcing really great products: beanies, scarves, handbags, totes, wallets, anything that we can sell here in the United States that we can work with the artisan partners and the at-risk communities and survivors to create. We're going after it. So,
with your daughter being rescued, like, how has that just impacted your life, your family's life?
Oh my goodness. My daughter, she's my hero. And she's the bravest person that I know. She reminds me each and every day, Britt, why I do what I do. And I'm so proud of her and what she's accomplished here in America. You know, 5 years ago when she first moved in with us, her English was broken. It was difficult across the kitchen table. You know, and she'd say something, I'd say, "Can you say that again?" Say it again. And then she'd get frustrated and she'd say, "Never mind." I just, "Don't quit on me, girl." You know, and so just to see that growth. I mean, today she's in a university in her 3rd year, working on a psychology degree. I couldn't be more proud of her. But what she has done and the courage that she had to testify against an American pedophile and to relive that horror that she went through is more than I can even imagine. But what it's done is she has been the hope that the girls in Cambodia, the girls around the world, the girls domestically can look up and say, she's standing up, she's fighting this, and it really encourages all of us to do something in this issue.
The girls are in human trafficking, then they're rescued. Does it take them a while to come to a place of freedom, you know, where they really feel free, or is it a struggle, them just, you know, how do you work with them in that?
It really depends on the individual, you know, and what they've been through, and everybody has their own pace for recovery, and we respect that, you know. And there can be 3 steps forward and 5 steps back, or 5 steps forward, and keep moving. But everybody is individualized with their program, so we try to make sure that we take care of their individual needs.
That's good. So we are joined now by Kentia. She is 22 years old. You heard a little bit about her story. She's amazing, brave, awesome girl. I'm so honored to meet you. Thank you for just sitting here and hanging out with us for a little bit. This is your dad, Ken. Kentia was adopted from Cambodia, and now is just living in freedom and going to school, and God has an amazing plan for your life, so can't wait to see how He uses you. So I guess I want to ask you, like, if you heard Be the Change on the radio, like, how would it speak to you?
Well, you know, it's interesting because when I was listening to it, the song is just so full of energy. You know, it was just, it would make you just want to get up off the couch and be the change, you know. And the other thing that I noticed when I was listening to the song is I love that there was that word together. It was together we can be the change, and that was powerful. Together we can be the change.
Yeah.
And so,
Awesome. Thank you.
and then the last part, I don't know if you picked up on it, but it was that it's never too late.
That's right.
To start today.
Yeah,
It's
that's
never
good.
too late.
Yeah.
So there's so many messages in it that resonated with me. I loved it.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining us today to hear about Three Strands and what they're doing to be the change. I was challenged, I was encouraged, and I'm just excited to see how we can all come together to help Three Strands, to be a part of what they're doing, and to help other organizations around the world who are truly being the change.
Whoa.